NFC time.
Yep.
We're just going to go in the same order. So the NFC North.
Sure.
I have Detroit going 12-5. Green Bay going 10-7. Minnesota going 6-11. And Chicago going 3-14. My win range for Detroit 8-13. For Green Bay, I have them going between 7 and 12 wins. I think realistically, 3-9 for Minnesota. I don't know how well JJ McCarthy's going to do this year. Honestly, I think last year was a fluke, and I think Seattle's going to get scammed.
Yeah,
we'll get to them in a second. I have Chicago winning 3 to 8 games.
Okay. So for my predictions, I actually have Green Bay in first, just barely ahead of the Lions. And I think their floor could be 9 games. I think they're, no matter what, they are going to get a winning season. But I don't think there's much range. I can only see like about maybe one more game winning 11 games. And then for Detroit, I also have them at 10-7. I am worried. Last year, the injuries were just piling up. And so I'm worried about that. If too many injuries happen, can they still stay the same? And with them losing their coordinators, I'm worried that maybe that can have some negative impact on the team. So I see their floor at 8-9, but I could see them going 12-5. And for I actually have the Bears in third with 6-11. Still not great. I don't think they're going to be great. I think they'll be maybe a little bit better than last year with Ben Johnson at the helm. I think he can help improve the team a little bit. I like their draft. And so I have their floor at about 6 games, and I think they could maybe get a winning record at 9-8. And then in dead last, I have the Vikings also with 6-11. I'm just not too confident that it can be repeated. I think that defense and Kevin O'Connell being in there, Aaron Glenn, all those people, is going to give them a certain support, which will let them win at least a couple games. So I have their floor at 5, and I could see them getting up to 9.
Peyton?
All right, guys. So there's only one team making it to the playoffs for this part, and that's the Lions, going 15-2. Then I have the Packers going 8-9. Vikings also go 8-9. And then the Bears are gonna go 3-14.
Yep. Any parting thoughts?
No. It's pretty straightforward, I think, with this one. I mean, I think this one's the Lions' strongest team in that division. It's going to be interesting to see how the Packers do this year with Matthew Golden.
Yeah.
Because Jordan Love has a new weapon, and we'll see how that connection plays out.
Yeah. The biggest worry for me about Detroit is losing the coordinators, really. Like Ben Johnson's a great.
We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah. See if they can actually replace them and still keep the same quality of team. But
I think it all just depends on Jared Goff and how well he can play.
Yeah, I think he'll be solid.
Relying on Jared Goff is not always a great thing.
Yeah, I think Jared Goff is a good quarterback, but I don't think he can do it alone. He needs some help.
He's definitely a game-managing quarterback.
Yeah, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but he just needs some help going through. All right, next division, NFC South.
NFC South, I have Tampa going 11-6, Atlanta going 10-7, the Panthers going 7-10, and I have the ones bringing up the rear at 4-13. The win range for the Bucks, I have them going between 8 and 13. I would say in that range. 7-12 for the Falcons, 5-9 for the Panthers. I think the Panthers could potentially squeak in. They got really well in the season, and the Saints, I have them going between 1 and 7 wins. I think the Saints are going to be absolutely terrible this year.
And for me, I actually have the Panthers in first with a 10-7 record. I really think this is the Panthers' year. Bro's doing that while he said the Bills went 17-0.
This is how it ended up, okay? My fault. I think they win all their games. But you don't even have the Bucks ahead of them?
They do both have
the Buccaneers are going to be great.
But still,
Bro, I don't
what?
think the Panthers are going to be that good, but I think they're going to improve quite a bit.
I think it could happen. I think it's going to take a lot of work to get up there. But I think
Ted McMillan's going to steal the show over there, but
my man, my greatest draft pick I made that stream, okay?
yeah, Ted McMillan, they got a good new receiver.
I still got
that shit, okay?
I still took Genty from you.
Shut up, man. Alright? Literally, this is like roll the clip of how fast I jumped up, you know? Whatever Ted got me. Just the instant shock I had, okay?
Yeah.
God.
We'll have to do the draft stream again next year.
And then we can do fantasy
great.
draft or stream maybe, or even talk
Our
about
mock draft
maybe.
Again.
We'll see what happens.
All right, Peyton, how is your NFC South?
You
or
just skipped over all mine. We didn't do mine.
He still has the other 3 teams because we were just that much in shock about the
Panthers. He said the Bucks tied.
Yeah, okay. So the Panthers, I really do think their ceiling is 10-7, but I think they're going to surprise people, and I'm just really confident in Bryce Young and Chuba Hubbard. I think he's really going to be a really good help for that run game, and I think that defense can get up there. And Ted McMillan, new wide receiver, I think that can really help Bryce Young in his development. And yeah, I think they could. If everything goes wrong, I could see them going down like 7-10, but they could go 10-7, like I have them here. And then second, I have the Buccaneers. They will also make the playoffs, but just barely due to divisional games. I think Carolina will win more of the matchups. And for the Buccaneers, I think they are going to be a pretty good team, and I think they could actually get up to 12 wins or maybe even 13. But I just don't think they're going to be as strong as some people predict. I'm just worried about, can Baker be as good as he was last year? And
famous words of my father: "Don't bet against Baker."
Yeah, Peyton's
not wrong.
I could easily see the Buccaneers winning over the Panthers and winning that division, but I have their floor probably at 9-8 and a ceiling of 12-5. And next place, I have the Falcons at 7-10. I'm not ready to believe in this Falcons team. I just don't have enough confidence in the overall team. That defense, like I know they have some good pieces there, but I don't quite think it's complete. Penix, I have not seen enough in him to be confident in his abilities. And so that's why I have them at 7-10. I think their floor is probably somewhere around 6-11. And their ceiling, I could see them getting up to 9-8. And dead last, I have the Saints at 5-12, which honestly I think that might even be a little high. That is just because I think maybe
it's going to be a bit generous.
Yeah, I think
their roster is really weak.
The roster's pretty bad. Like I think my 5-12 might have been a little generous. Just because I think they might win a few of the divisional games, just shock their opponents. Sometimes upsets happen a lot in divisional games. And I think their floor is honestly at like 2 games, and I think 5 is probably their ceiling. So, Peyton?
Okay, guys. I have 2 teams that make it to the playoffs here. First is going to be the Bucks going 14-2. And then the Falcons going 9-8. And then I have the Panthers going 6-11, and the Saints doing this. Who did they do the same as? Literally nobody. Going 2-14, even though that doesn't make sense. There's probably a game I missed somewhere.
Yeah, it'd be 2-15.
Yeah, it'd be 2-15. Yeah.
Any final thoughts on the NFC South?
Oh, that's the game. They must play the Seahawks because the Seahawks games.
I still think the Bucks are going to win the division, but I don't think it's going to be easy.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see the Bucks, especially since the past few years. I don't remember the last time someone other than the Bucks has won. It's been quite a while. And yeah.
Yeah, that's Tom Brady.
Yeah. All right, and moving on to the other NFC team, Alex.
The East.
Sure.
For the NFC East, I have the Philadelphia Eagles going 13-4. I have the Commanders going 13-4. I have Dallas going 9-8, and I have the Giants going 13. In terms of what I think their win range could be, I have Phillies at 10-17 wins. I have the Commanders at 10-13. I have Dallas at 5-10, and I have the Giants at 2-8. I think the Philly is going to easily win the division. I know my prediction 13-4, but I can see them being like 15-2, 16-1. They're still really good. So, I have no faith in Dallas, honestly.
Yeah.
I think the Giants have a long way to go. But I think at some point, Jackson Dart's going to get to play this year. I doubt Russell's going to last that long. And then Commanders are going to be good like last. I just don't think they're going to be good enough to beat the Eagles.
Yeah. Okay. So for mine, I also have the Eagles in first. I only have them at a 10-7 record though. I'm not too high on the Eagles coming off the Super Bowl win. Sometimes that leads to the team not being quite as good, a little too overconfident, and I think that might lead to them not being quite as good. I have them at a floor of 10-7. I don't think they could really be any worse than that. I don't think they can go up to 17-0. I have their ceiling at 13 wins. And in second place, I do actually have Dallas at 10-7. I really think that's probably as good as they're going to get. I just think maybe there's a chance something happens. Defense might be pretty solid. If Schottenheimer, even though he's kind of a random pick, sometimes they work out. Like let's look at the Cardinals with their coach they got a few years ago. Gannon. He actually did pretty good with the Cardinals. And if he can kind of be pretty good, help elevate the Cowboys a little bit, I could see them getting up to 10 wins. And I have their floor at 7. And then in third place, I have the Commanders at 9-8. I think Jaden Daniels might have a little less successful year. I think the first year wasn't necessarily a fluke. It's just generally rookie quarterbacks, they do really good their first year. Sometimes they have a sophomore slump, as some people call it. I believe Jaden Daniels will find himself in a similar position, and I think the Commanders won't quite be as good. So I have their floor at 8-9 and their ceiling at 11-6. And for the Giants, I have them at 4-13. I really don't think they're going to be a good team. It would take a miracle, and a miracle I'm not going to predict. I have their floor at 4-13 as they are, and maybe get up to 7 wins. Okay. Peyton?
So, 2 teams make it to the playoffs here. We've got the Commanders going 15-2, and then the Eagles going 11-6. The Giants are going to go 4-13, and then
Right.
the Cowboys, it's their year. They're going to go 1-16.
Rest of these Dallas fans.
Also, I looked. For some fucking reason, the Panthers only play 16 games. Wait, no, okay, never mind. It did change. It's 17 games. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone should be playing 17.
Yeah, I was tweaking.
Okay.
Any final thoughts?
And finally, the NFC West.
Any final thoughts on the NFC East before we move on to the final division? Not really? All right. Go ahead, Alex.
All right. I have the Los Angeles Rams going 9-8.
Okay.
I have the San Francisco 49ers going 8-9. I have Seattle going 7-10. And I have Arizona going 3-14. In terms of my win ranges here, for the Rams, I have them between 7 and 12 wins. I have the Niners between 5 and 9. Seattle between 4 and 9, and I have Arizona between 1 and 5 wins.
Okay. So for me,
Arizona's also one of the worst teams.
What?
I said Arizona's also one of the worst teams, despite having a good young receiver that they're going to waste this potential with.
So I have the 49ers in first at 10 and 7. I think I'm really confident that CMC might be able to get back to some form, maybe not to his, obviously not to his like prime, but maybe to a really good level that the 49ers can actually get some solid wins out. And Brock Purdy, receiver, bunch of new stuff. I think they'll actually be pretty solid. I have their floor at 9 and 8 with a ceiling of 11 and 6. And then in second place, I actually have the Seahawks with a 9 and 8 record. And Seahawks, I could see, I'm kind of confident in Sam Darnold. Is that where he went? He went to Seahawks, right? I'm not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Sam Darnold, after what he did in the Vikings, I've always been really confident in Sam Darnold since he was in Carolina and he had that solid season with Steve Wilkes. I'm a Sam Darnold believer, and I was proved right with the Vikings, 14 and 3 that last year. And so I'm really confident they could do pretty good.
That was a fluke.
The Simpsons were actually wrong with that one.
I believe, and so I think the Seattle Seahawks have a floor of 7 and 10, and I could see them getting up to 10 wins. And then in third place, I have the Rams with a 9 and 8 record. The only thing I'm really concerned with is, can Matthew Stafford get another year in the tank? Can he do as well as he has done? No Cooper Kupp this year, obviously. They do have Devontae Adams. I'm not too confident in him.
They still have Nakua.
Yeah, they have Nakua. Yeah, Nakua is pretty good, but I'm worried about Devontae actually.
Clonky on that team too.
What?
Clonky, McClonky, or some shit like
that. Oh, Lad McClonky.
The Chargers have it.
Yeah, he's on the Chargers.
Okay.
Nakua, he's a good receiver, obviously, but I'm worried that Devontae Adams might not be the receiver that some people think he is. I don't think he's going to do too crazy well, even though I did draft him in fantasy.
He hasn't been great.
I think that might have been a misplay by me, honestly. And so I have their ceiling at 10 and 7 and a floor of 7 and 10. Yeah, it was. I really regret drafting Devontae Adams way too early.
You drafted a quarterback way too late. You could have drafted a quarterback instead of drafting.
Yeah, no. Hey, man. Yeah, in the last place, I have the Cardinals. With a higher record, I actually somehow have them. I don't know if it was because of their schedule or not, but I actually have them at 8 and 9, which I think probably about as high as they're going to get. I don't know if Kyler Murray's the thing, but I think if they can get some solid things going in there, maybe Gannon improves the defense, maybe Kyler Murray, maybe he makes this his year, maybe not. I have their floor at 4 and 13 and a ceiling of 8 and 9, where they are. All right, Peyton?
All right. 2 teams make it to the playoffs, chat. Listen, they fell off. Last year, but I have slim hope. However, this looks like I have massive hope in them. But I have the 49ers going 15 and 2.
Massive.
And this is top. And then I have the Cardinals going 9 and 8, and then the Rams going 7 and 10. Say that again. And then the Seahawks going 5 and 12.
Say that again.
I think we're forgetting here that San Francisco lost half their team in free agency.
Yeah, they did lose.
That's fantastic, man. That's just fantastic.
I don't look at that shit.
Because they paid CMC too much and Brock Purdy.
No, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
I think Seattle's about to get scammed. I think what happened last year in Minnesota was a fluke. And I think Sam looked much better than he did because he had the best receiver in the league on his team. I don't think Seattle's going to be all that great. I think someone's going to be back seeing ghosts again.
I'm Okay, I am a little worried about Sam Darnold, especially like that Rams game where he just got absolutely annihilated the hell out of and got sacked so many times. And the bright lights did seem to hurt him a little bit, which does a little worry me, but I still do think Sam Darnold's a solid quarterback and better than what people give him credit for. Any final thoughts on the NFC before we move on to the finals part?
I definitely think the NFC is a lot weaker than up. They used to be one of the strongest divisions in football, or conference. They were the strong conference. Now they're kind of weak. I think Philly locks up their conference again. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
You have like a sleeper team you think could really surprise people in the NFC?
Definitely the Panthers. The Giants, maybe. It just depends on how well their year goes.
Giants, Panthers.
The Panthers.
Maybe the Vikings with JJ. I don't know.
Yeah.
I see it. Maybe.
I hate to say it, but maybe Dallas.
Get them out of here.
I hate
Do
to
not
say it.
speak them into existence, man.
It could be.
But also,
it could be there.
Literally Dallas could either be really good or they could be really bad, and I'm leaning towards really bad.
Yeah.
I have Dak in fantasy, so I need him to do pretty good.
I haven't forgot you drafted him.
That or Drake May. Hey, maybe that's
Chicago could. I think Chicago could overperform, but it just depends.
Yeah, I think that's possible. With Ben Johnson, I like him as a head coach. He was one of the top candidates coming up this year for head coach. And I think I think he could surprise us. And who else do I think?
I do think you have a point though about Jaden Daniels having a more slump. It is possible because CJ Stroud definitely did last year.
It was deserved for CJ Stroud though.
Yeah. And I don't think the Commanders will be bad. I don't know how bad of a sophomore slump he will be. I just think it's not going to be like that far up there. I just think.
Well, who knows what's going to happen with Terry McLaurin because he's holding out right now.
Yeah, and he's also kind of getting a little older too. Always age is a concern.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
If that's it.
On to the playoffs.
Yep.